Hello, welcome to Mlc Tv News, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the confluent state of Nigeria. I am Moreno Balagobu. First, the headlines. President MUHAMMADU BUHARI calls for order in APC. Kogi community gets potable water. NDLEA arrests General Overseer with drugs at Lagos Airport. And Russia asks China for military economic aid. And now the news in details. Kogi State government has commended the 600-capacity JAM CBT Center the senator representing Kogi Central built in Agasa, Okene local government area. The senator got commendation during the official commissioning of the project in Okene. The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Matthew Kolawole, said even when he is expected of lawmakers to attract good things to their constituents, Senator Oseni has done well by providing succor for the students.
It's more or less like a library. So I want to congratulate Senator Oseni. He has been performing right from when he was the chairman of the BIR. So no wonder he has the Senate. So I wish him more. I wish him best of luck, and I wish he could do more for the people of the Central and Kogi State at large.
The Commissioner for Education, Wemi Jones, said the huge project facilitated to Kogi Central will improve the efforts of the state government to encourage technology, engineering, and mathematics amongst students.
Our policy as a government is to go the way of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, which is codenamed STEM. With this in place, the experience of our learners and examiners will most definitely witness a positive turnaround.
He advised the facility to be adequately monitored and maintained. To the end users, they are full of joy. They thanked Senator Oseni for providing a conducive environment for them to learn and be trained.
I thank God for this computer center. Alhaji Oseni, thank you. As we have our own now, we will be doing our jam here. We will no longer go out and write our jam. We are so grateful for what you people have done for us.
The Chief Imam of Ibira, Salihu Ebere, and Ohi of Ekene, Isa Maman, also commended his efforts at attracting good things to his constituency, urged others to emulate him.
He has made it for us to feel his impact in us in the Kogi Central. We are begging God to assist him and guide him right and do more before his tenure end, inshallah.
He should continue to do more. More is expected from him. The reward may not come immediately. It may come later. I'm using this opportunity to ask other legislators or representatives to come and showcase what they have done for the constituency that choose them to either the National Assembly, or to the Senate, or to the House of Assembly. Let them emulate what Oseni has done so far.
Earlier, Senator Yakubu Oseni has promised to continue to provide dividends of democracy for the electorates.
I may not have achieved that for now, but sincerely, no community will be abandoned.
No wonder the Senate President Ahmed Lawan said senators like Yakubu Oseni deserves another term.
And I want to assure you, Your Excellency, Mr. Governor, that all your 3 senators have distinguished themselves, have taken the training they have gotten from you, from their constituents, the Kogi people, to be very determined people, very honest people, very transparent and accountable people. And we are proud of them. But you know what, Your Excellency? One good term deserves another.
The event has top government functionaries, former and present state and national assembly members, other dignitaries in attendance. Reprieve came the way of the people of Odo Ogba Oto community in the Ekene local government area of Kogi State as they took delivery of the multi-million naira water project financed by the State Auditor General Yakubu Okala. The traditional ruler of Ogbaloto, Ibrahim Omatiga, who spoke while receiving the 5,000-litre water project on behalf of the community, described Okala as a worthy son of the community. He said the borehole, which was handed over to the community by the personal assistant to the Auditor General, Abdullahi Suleiman, would lessen the perennial water scarcity challenge for thousands of residents of the area. Chief Omatiga, while appreciating the efforts of Yakubu Okala for his positive response to the yearnings of the people of the community, appealed to the Governor Yaya Bello and the State Auditor General to provide security to the facilities given to them. The Kogi State Vanguard of Okun Women has used the occasion of the anniversary to mark the International Women's Day. The occasion was held at the Johnny Event Center, Kaba, and has women from different walks of life in attendance. The coordinator, former Kogi State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Bolani Ankpiton Olorunshaye, said the vision is to create a future in which all Okun women and girls will be viewed, valued by the community, and equipped to fulfill their unique purpose. Our reporter has more.
Okun women in their numbers gathered to celebrate their 1 year of existence as an association. The group said, with the 2022 Women's Day tagged Break the Bias, it is important to sensitize all women of why it is imperative to be well guided into playing politics with mindsets of contesting for any political position in the next general elections. Hence, the celebration with the theme Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. The speaker at the event, Funke Eseyin, encouraged women to rise to participate in politics at both state and national levels. She charged successful women in their various fields of endeavor to provide an enabling environment for others through mentorship.
We must grow ourselves. We must prove and convince that we are capable, because it's what people know that they relate with. So we need to demonstrate our competence, we need to demonstrate our capability, we need to demonstrate our trustworthiness. We must prepare ourselves, we must present ourselves as species that can be trusted, and we must be willing to support each other, we must cooperate with one another. I mean, women are far above men in every endeavor. Just take a critical look at every sphere of life, we find more women, but because the minor population society has so much to provide and enable an environment to allow the minor population to thrive. So you don't see much women thriving in every area of life. So with our support to each other, our mentorship, our guidance, we help other women to also come up the ladder and be able to find expression, in whatever area of life.
Others, including men who graced the occasion, sent words of motivation to women across the globe.
So we are preaching to them that there should be no more bias. There should be no more bias. We are all equal before God. Though they are our husband, they are our men, we have to respect them. But still, they should give us our own position and our own entitlements. What we women are entitled to, they should give it to us.
Any woman that is not trying to trade in one way or the other, she's just wasting her time. And such women, such a woman cannot have the keen love of her husband or of anybody in the community. You just be looked as irresponsible woman. But once you are a businesswoman and you have something to reckon with, I'm talking about money. It may not be millions, it may not be billions, but at least something that will fetch you your feeling, fetch you what you want to use for your kids, and take care of yourself. No one will look down at you.
These days, women are losing themselves. Women have found it difficult to choose who they are, to accept who they are. They try to be someone else. But if women like this, if young women can be coming to gathering like this, they tend to discover who they are, choose themselves, then trust who they are and accept themselves.
But from what I know on ground, the votes that come from the women, the votes that come from the youth are votes that you cannot just dismiss. And of course, if they have now consciously realized that this is the kind of place they have in the society and decide to come together to take their place in the society rather than waiting for any form of affirmation. Because I think the mistake we've made over time is women to be advocating for affirmation, for concession. But if you know you have this kind of numbers, why don't you come out and confront the main counterpart too? We're equal.
The coordinator and co-founder, Vanguard of Okun Women, VOW, Bolanle Amopita Olorunsaye, said the group is a non-governmental organization as well as not a political affiliation. She said the VOW's mission is to empower women at all levels in order to achieve their ambitions and purposes in life.
Because we are sponsoring ourselves now. Then we are even telling them, stop giving us free form. Let us pay. If men are paying 1 million, we are ready to pay 1 million. We will compete with them. After all, it's the women that vote. But when we talk about the general election, we are the one that vote. But at the selection level, that's the primary level, you see that the only place you see women is women leader. That's all. So you see some delegates is only women, one woman you see among them. So it's going to be difficult for women to be able to, break through those barriers. But we have resolved. That's why that's part of what we are pushing for. That we want to be member, we want to be delegates, we want to be everywhere, so that we can choose our own.
Bolanle called on men to support women in politics who want to contest and avoid intimidation. The event was spiced with Okun Women's cultural display. Women of Okun land by birth and marriage from the 5 Okun-speaking local government areas of Kogi West, including Oworo, were all available to celebrate the day. Report filed by Faith Abdulgafar. I am Fatima Yakub reporting for MLC TV.
The Delta State Police Command and the Delta State University Abuja have synergized on ways of boosting security within and outside the university campus to achieve a conducive and peaceful environment for the staff and students. Their partnership agreement was reached during a courtesy visit by the Commissioner of Police, Delta State Command, to the management of the university, led by the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Andy Ugochukwu. The CP, who was warmly received by the Vice-Chancellor and the management of the university, noted that the university environment is one that must be policed properly, as it comprises of vulnerable youths who needs to be properly guided against cultism, internet fraud, and other related practices that will affect them negatively. The CP assured the VC and the management of the institution that the command is ever ready to partner with the school to achieve a conducive and peaceful environment for the staff and students. The CP also noted that as a community policing-driven officer, the need to partner with all stakeholders could not be overemphasized. He therefore urged the management of the university to reach out to the divisional police officer of the area commander whenever the need arises, and if they did not get the desired results, the office of the CP was open 24 hours to handle such issues. The Vice-Chancellor in his remarks described the CP's visit as the first of its kind in the existence of the school, just as he noted that the CP was a goal-oriented police officer who had his agenda spelt out. The VC expressed the hope that with the agenda, the security in the state under the administration of the CP Ari Muhammad Ali would be a solid one. Natives of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja have called on the National Assembly to revisit the rejected mayoral status and ministerial bills. The mayoral status bill seeks to confer a mayoral status on the FCT, while the ministerial bill seeks to empower FCT indigents to become FCT minister. The FCT natives on Sunday threatened to stage a massive protest that will shut down the territory if the National Assembly failed to revisit the bills. Speaking at a press conference organized by some FCT stakeholders on Sunday, one of their leaders, Yunusa Yusuf, vowed that the natives would no longer tolerate the marginalization meted on them by the government. He said the natives would block all entries into the FCT, mostly the airport road and the ever-busy Zuba-Kubwa Expressway, until their demands are met. Yusuf said, "We want to warn clearly that since we are not considered as Nigerians like other citizens, the lawmakers should be revisiting this FCT as if they were also foreigners coming to a foreign country. Since we are not Nigerians and we lack identity, the country has nothing to offer us." We'll go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please do stay with us.
Every country has its peculiar system of government. In Nigeria, we practice democracy, and this is applicable in some countries across the globe, including the United States of America. What is democracy? It is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. In the political arena, we are ready to x-ray how we play politics in Nigeria and other countries. The challenge of power shift syndrome, how it has impacted or affected the people. How can we make it better for all? Join Fatima Yakub on Mlc TV online every Saturday by 9 p.m. to discuss and examine all about the politics and the power that be.
Mr. President, I was once there as an opposition senator. There was never a time that we called the president at that time, who was a PDP president, an insult, because this is our institution. And if we don't conduct ourselves with dignity and respect, nobody will respect us.
The heads of security in Nigeria made several different explanations for killings of our citizens.
The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, I hereby forward for the confirmation by the Senate the appointment of the unlisted nominees as National Commissioners and Resident Electoral Commissioner for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
To watch us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mlc TV. Like our Facebook page, MLC TV, and follow us on our Instagram, MLC TV 2021. We are here to inform, educate, and to criticize constructively. Don't miss it.
Welcome back. President Muhammadu Buhari wants the leaders and membership of the All Progressive Congress APC to desist from name-calling and backstabbing ahead of the ongoing March 26th convention, remain steadfast and maintain its unity if the party is to continue in the path of victory and its dominance at all levels throughout the country. Buhari's warning was contained in a statement issued on Saturday by Garba Shehu, presidential spokesman. President Buhari asked the members to look at the once powerful main opposition People's Democratic Party PDP, now embattled and adrift, and learn lessons in disunity, management and corruption. They failed in 16 years in power and a failure as opposition. He said, yes, we are entitled to our own share of dissent and intra-party discord. These are common in all parties, left and right, all over the world. But parties splintered by competing egos destined themselves to the worst possible fate, the president warned. He called that the APC started out with a confidence of victory, and the party today enjoys that confidence in nearly 2/3 of our 36 states, yet he noted this is a party that has been in existence barely for 8 years, becoming the dominant party because it has thrown open its doors to defectors from other parties, big and small. This alone, addition to the fact we didn't start on the note of arrogance of power, nor see government as a vehicle for self-aggrandizement to be held at all costs, but a vehicle to bring development to all without discrimination, political, ethnic, or regional, to our dear country, made this success possible. The party, he went on to note, is proud of the fact that in its short period of existence, it has won 2 general elections decisively, and despite losing a few states in 2019, it steadfastly expanded its pan-Nigerian outlook with significant defections of the opposition governors and parliamentarians into its fold. It is equally clear that over the last week or so, the internal management affairs of the APC have been afforded generous media coverage over and above its importance to the voters of Nigeria. It is therefore important for the media to put such matters into perspective. No one is debating policy differences here. That is for the general election. None of the declared aspirants and any of those that may step forward will change because of who may be in the party in the chairman's seat. It is essentially the same party. Of course, the media are welcome to comment on the content of the character of the potential APC candidates, discuss their suitability for leadership, scrutinize their offer to the membership, but to focus on the routine internal divisions and magnify them into what they have become today is a waste of everyone's time, amounting to no more than a discussion over sitting arrangements, and this is not what Nigerians talk of in their communities. They have an inclination only for things that matters. The immediate past Senate President Abubakar Saraki has said he will officially declare his intention to run for president in 2023 after the People's Democratic Party decides which geopolitical zone will get its presidential ticket. Saraki spoke on Sunday Politics, the Channel's TV program, and during the program, the former Kwara governor claimed to have what it takes to lead Nigeria. Saraki also said he had toured the country with his team to consult stakeholders on his presidential ambition. He said, like anybody, there are rules, there are guidelines. Saraki asked Nigerians to be concerned about electing someone who can tackle the country's challenges instead of zoning. He said, when you talk about zoning, yes, you must consider zoning. But when we talk about zoning, it can't just be an issue of north-south, because you cannot tell me that the Southwest will say they are disenfranchised in the possibility of political office. Neither can you say the South-South. And on to news in crime. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has arrested the General Overseer of Christ Living Hope Church, Reverend Ugochi Emmanuel Ikwem, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport for drug peddling. The cleric was arrested while on his way to a 3-week crusade in Nairobi, Kenya, with 54 sticks of drugs wrapped around his body. The popular preacher, who has his church headquarters in Oswanicha Mbaka Road, Oka North Local Government Area, Anambra State, and 2 other branches in Lagos and Abuja, was arrested during the outward clearance of passengers on Ethiopian Airlines flight to Nairobi via Addis Ababa. In a statement by spokesman Femi Babafemi titled Church General Overseer Arrested with Drugs at Lagos Airport, the NDLEA said when the drugs were tested, the 54 sticks proved positive to be cannabis. According to the statement, the clergyman confirmed during a preliminary interview that he packed that quantity of illicit substance on his body to use during his week's crusade in Kenya. The statement read, on the same day, another passenger, Nakanyi Chukwuka King, who arrived at the airport on Ethiopian Airlines flight from Sao Paulo, Brazil, via Addis Ababa, was intercepted during the inward clearance of passengers at the e-arrival hall of the MMIA. During a search of his luggage, 40 parcels of cocaine concealed inside bottles of body cream with a cross weight of 9.7 kg were recovered from the subject. Also on the same day, operatives arrested a freight agent, Rafiu Abbas, at the narco export shed of the airport when he presented a cargo containing 19.15 kg cannabis going to London. The illicit substance was concealed inside plastic containers labeled as African dishes and packed in a bag. In a related development, a 63-year-old Vincent Obima was on Friday, 11th March, arrested with 350 grams of cocaine and 150 grams of heroin by NDLEA operatives at a park in the Apapa Seaport Corridor in Lagos. The drugs were hidden in industrial touch packets headed to Kano State. While commending the officer and men of the MMIA Apapa Airport, Kaduna, Yobe and Anambra commands of the agency for the impressive seizures and arrests in the past week, Chairman Executive of the NDLEA, MUHAMMADU Mawa, charged them and their colleagues across the country to stay focused and intensify efforts to rid Nigeria of illicit drugs and substances. The wife of the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police DCP Abba Kyari on Monday fainted at the High Court in Abuja. She slumped onto the floor shortly after trial Justice Emeka Nwete deferred the ruling on applications that DCP Kyari and 6 other persons facing drug trafficking charges with him filed to be released on bail pending the determination of the case against them. The woman slumped while armed operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, were leading Kyari and the others away from the court premises. Though she appeared lifeless on the floor, she was quickly carried up and rushed inside one of the offices in the 3rd floor of the court by some officials of the NDLEA and lawyers. Efforts were on to secure an inhaler for her, even as one of the women that accompanied her to the court hinted that she was asthmatic. The NDLEA had on Monday urged the court to deny Kyari and all the other defendants bail. It told the court that Kyari, who hitherto headed the police intelligence response team, would escape the country and make himself unavailable for trial should he be released from custody. And now to news from the foreign scene. 17 million people in the Chinese tech hub of Shenzhen began their first full day on the lockdown Monday, with its restrictions also imposed in Shanghai and major cities in an effort to extinguish the biggest threat to the nation's zero-tolerance COVID strategy. The southern city took the measures on Sunday as authorities battled an Omicron flare-up in factories and neighborhoods linked to nearby Hong Kong, which is recording scores of daily deaths as the virus runs rampant. Shenzhen is one of the 10 areas nationwide to issue some level of stay-at-home order. Health officials have warned tighter measures could be on their way as concerns mount over the resilience of China's zero-COVID approach in the face of the highly transmissible Omicron variant. Authorities reported 2,300 new virus cases nationwide on Monday and almost 3,400 a day earlier, the highest daily figure in 2 years. Photos shared with AFP by a Shenzhen resident showed entrances to a housing compound blocked by large plastic barriers as residents swapped jokes on social media about their rush to grab laptops from their offices before the lockdown. Tech stocks tumbled on the Hong Kong exchange in early trading Monday as concerns over the impact of the virus spread in Shenzhen, a hub for iPhone maker Foxconn, as well as Huawei and Tencent spooked investors in Shanghai, China's largest city. Residential areas and offices in some neighborhoods remain sealed off as city authorities try to avoid a full lockdown. The city reported around 170 new virus cases on Monday, enough to seed anxiety among business owners and economic pain ahead. At least 5 cities in the province have been locked down since the beginning of March, including the major industrial base of Changshan, whose 9 million residents were confined at home on Friday. While the caseload is low in global terms, it is deeply alarming in China, where authorities have been unrelenting in squashing clusters since early 2020. Russia has asked China for military and economic aid for its war in Ukraine. U.S. media reported Sunday, hours after the White House warned Beijing would face severe consequences if it helps Moscow evade sanctions. U.S. officials told media that Russia had requested military equipment and support from its key ally. Moscow also asked Beijing for economic assistance against the crippling sanctions imposed against it by most of the Western world, the New York Times said, against citing anonymous officials. The officials declined to explain exactly what Russia had requested or whether China had responded, according to the reports. A spokesperson for the Chinese embassy in Washington told multiple outlets have never heard of what when asked about the alleged requests. The reports came just a few hours after the White House announced a high-level U.S. delegation would meet with a top Chinese official in Rome on Monday. A national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, and Yang Chichi, the Chinese Communist Party's chief diplomat, will discuss ongoing efforts to manage the competition between our two countries and discuss the impact of Russia's war against Ukraine on regional and global security. National Security Council spokesperson Emily Horn said Sunday in a statement, Beijing has declined to directly condemn Moscow for launching its invasion and has repeatedly blamed NATO's eastward expansion for worsening tensions between Russia and Ukraine, echoing the Kremlin's prime security grievance. Sullivan made a round of Sunday talk shows to say the White House was watching closely to see whether China provides material or economic support to Russia to help it evade the punishing impact of sanctions. Sullivan said that while he did not wish to brandish threats against major economic rival China, we are communicating directly, privately to Beijing that there will absolutely be consequences for large-scale sanctions evasion efforts. Beijing said this past week that its friendship with Russia remains rock solid despite international condemnation of Moscow and has expressed an openness to help mediate end to the war. And in sports news, Barcelona continued their La Liga resurgence on Sunday by blowing away Osasuna with Ferran Torres and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on target again in a 4-0 win at Camp Nou. 3 goals in 14 minutes in the first half all but ended the match as a contest as Torres scored twice, the first penalty before Aubameyang produced a third. Ricky P grounded up the victory with 15 minutes left. Focus now turns to 2 crunch games this week against Galatasaray in the Europa League and then next weekend's Clásico against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabéu. A first consecutive league victory lifts Barca back up to the 3rd in the table, now only 5 points behind Sevilla and with a game in handover. Julen Lopetegui's side, whose title challenge looks to be over after they were held to a 1-1 draw by Rayo Vallecano. Sevilla have drawn 6 of their last 8 games in La Liga, and their latest stumble at Vallecas means Real Madrid will move 10 points clear at the top if they win at Mallorca on Monday. Barca have been closing the gap to Sevilla in recent weeks and can have genuine aspirations now of finishing second. Sevilla could even get pulled into the battle for the top 4 if their current slump continues. Xavi, who was appointed in November with Barcelona lying 9th, also has to take credit, with Barcelona team now playing the kind of sleek, quick, high-intensity football that looked impossible under the Ronald Koeman. Xavi has also successfully reintegrated Ousmane Dembele despite the jeers of disgruntled fans in response to the Frenchman refusing to sign a new contract. World number 3 Alexander Zverev crashed out of the ATP Indian Wells Masters on Sunday, beating his opening match 6-2, 4-6, 7-6 by 39th ranked American Tommy Paul. The 24-year-old Olympic gold medalist from Germany was playing his first tournament since he was disqualified from Mexico Open in Acapulco after losing his temper and repeatedly smashing his racket against the umpire's chair. Zverev was fined $40,000 for verbal abuse and unsportsmanlike conduct. A further $25,000 fine and 8-week ban followed, but both were suspended provided he does not incur a further code violation for 12 months. After dropping the first set in which Paul mercilessly punished his second swerve, Zverev leveled the match with the only break of the second set in the 10th game. After holding his serve to love 3 times and breaking Paul in the 6th game of the 3rd set, Zverev appeared to be on his way to victory, but the German immediately gave the break back with a disastrous game that featured 4 double faults. Paul took the set to a tie break that he dominated with the same aggression he showed in the opening set. Matthias Ayodeji Peter is standing by for our entertainment news. Over to you, Matthias.
On our foreign entertainment news, American actor Jussie Smollett has been sentenced to jail for staging a disgraceful scheme to fake a hate crime. The ruling was given by Chicago judge on Tuesday, March 10, 2022. According to the judge, the actor will be spending 5 months in prison for concocting a fake hate crime. "I'm innocent. I could have said I was guilty a long time ago," Smollett said as he was led away in handcuffs and remanded into custody. "I did not do this and I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go there, I did not do it to myself, and you must all know that." The ruling came months after he was found guilty of 5 out of 6 count charges leveled against him. Smollett was sentenced to 30 months of probation, the first 5 of which he must spend in the Cook County Jail. In order to pay the city of Chicago $120,000 in restitution and a $25,000 fine after he was found guilty on 5 counts of felony disorderly conduct following his 8-day trial last year. The actor claimed to have been attacked by 2 men who beat him up, tied a noose around his neck, and poured bleach on him. It will be recalled that Smollett was hospitalized after he was reportedly injured by 2 men in what looks like a homophobic attack back in January 2019. On entertainment news from Africa, Nigeria actress Kemi Afolabi has revealed that she has just 5 years to live. The movie star made this known during a recent chat with Chud Junior Wo. According to Afolabi, she has an incurable ailment and has already lived 1 year out of the 5 years given to her by the doctors. Afolabi quoted her doctors as saying, "Make sure you are with your loved ones, at least you still have up to 5 years. I have lupus. It is not curable. You just have to take medications for the rest of your life," she said. She noted that she paid 1.2 million naira on a treatment, yet it did not work as she continually cried in pain. It will be recalled that in January, the actress revealed how she has written a will after the diagnosis. "I wrote my will and booked a space with Ebony Vaults the year 2021, but God showed me how faithful He is despite my unfaithfulness," she wrote. The 43-year-old actor is married with a child. And that is all on entertainment news today. My name is Matthias Ayodeji Peter, reporting for Mlc TV. Back to our caster for more stories.
Thanks for the update. The Osun State Council of the Nigerian Union Journalists has lost a member, Tunde Adeyemo, who died on Monday after a brief illness. Adeyemo was until his death chairman of the Osun State Broadcasting Corporation Chapel, and according to a staff of the OSBC, Yemi Aboderin, who broke the news of the incident, said Adeyemo died on Monday at the Union Teaching Hospital, Osogbo, after a brief illness. And that is the size of our package today. Join us tomorrow at this same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mlc TV. Like and follow us on Facebook at MLC TV, Instagram MLC TV 2021, Twitter at MLC TV 1. For your event coverage, information contribution, advert and sponsorship, please call the numbers displayed on your screen. Join us Friday and Saturday to watch our special programs. Friday 9 p.m. Local Government and You, Saturday 7 p.m. Family Affairs, Saturday 9 p.m. Political Arena. It is Mlc TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Mono Balagbubu. Please continue to be your brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together.